Kids, oh my god, what are you guys? You're growing like beanstalks. What have you guys been eating? I hope it's something healthy. I'm sure it is. I bet you're eating a lot of healthy food. Yeah, I know you are. So, I was going to go right to the eighth grade, but then I was thinking food, food, food. There's foodies everywhere. There's so many topics on food. There's nutrition, this, that, this. They got a food channel. There's channels over 777 channels. There's nothing on. I've heard that a lot. We said that with the 5 or 6 channels we had. And yeah, see how it's. So I thought Grandpa was an old school fella. And you're looking at me, and this guy's from the old school. Well, obviously, since I'm bringing up cartoons you never even heard of. And by the way, that I don't think I could have done any of this without the cartoons. I was always in a New Jersey, Arizona, or in Florida, and so where do you go? You put things together where you're at. I got 20 schools that I can now assess to what I was doing, what cartoon I was watching. It came in handy for me. Real fast, I didn't want to get into psychology because there's too many psychologists out there, and I know it's a touchy thing, but I'm just going to say we'll just pick three. We'll go with Freud, Gestalt, Jung. Perfect. We'll go with those three. So we'll say, in a nutshell, what is he talking about? Well, Freud had an understanding with the subconscious that there was you love your mother. You love your mother. You love your mother. Then you got you hate your father. You hate your father, and this is why everything happens to people because of this subconscious of that. Then there's Gestalt. I'm putting it all pretty simple. Gestalt was basically consciousness. There's our consciousness. Then there's Jung, which I think he had it down. He says there is the subconscious, the conscious, and the higher self. I'm down on that one. I just had to get it out there because when I was doing magnifying glasses, when I got pretty positive with, I wasn't burning ants any. That was negative. So then I started writing things. What would I write? Physician, heal thyself, know thyself. And you know how people can tamper with things. And later on, when I started Egyptian and Sanskrit, dead language, the things that we find that it might have been an accident, but somebody took the S off of know thyself. It was know thyselves. And then that's where the subconscious, conscious, and higher self would come into, where it would be more logical. I just want to get that out there so you have some kind of foundation at least to work from. Foodie. I didn't want to go there because, again, there are so many people that say you can eat this, and you'll never make this. So that's why I want to go. There's a limitation on all these things. And I was going to say there's the law, and then there's the spirit of the law. Spirit of the law. Perfect. So we got meat. You got to have meat. Well, I grew up with meat, and I understood that it was tasty, and that, let's see, let's go with this. Meat. I was brought up with 3 meals a day, and you had to eat 3 meals a day because you'd be getting sick if you didn't. So when I told Nanny, I don't think so, Nanny. I think 2 meals. And I said, okay, give me breakfast. I didn't tell her about it not eating lunch, and I came back for dinner. My point being, when I grew up, I was wrestling, football, and all that stuff, so I could eat anything, anytime. I could eat 5 meals a day. I had to gain weight, lose weight in wrestling, football, keep your weight on. What I'm saying is I could eat in breakfast a dozen eggs, half pound of bacon, and pancakes, and not have a problem. Then have lunch. I used to have bean and cheese burritos. Those were my favorites, still are. And then I would come home and have dinner, whatever that is. And I'd be able to relieve myself by the time I went to bed. So I'm saying I had a very positive digestion. I don't want to get to that. It's very important. But let's just get the foods out of the way. So we got the meat. And then I have spiritual pride people out there that are saying, I'm a vegetarian. Okay. Oh, boy. Meat and fish. Then you have the spiritual, which is fine. You can have spiritual either way. And these people that have spiritual pride, and I don't care if you're here or there, they say, I'm a vegetarian, but I eat fish. You eat meat then. You eat meat. Okay? I just want to get that out of the way. You're a vegetarian? Yeah, but I eat fish. You eat meat. Now, if you exclude the fish, you are a vegetarian. Perfect. We got, at least we're working on it. The next foundation, which would be cooked vegetables. Now, if you have a baby, you're going to cook the vegetables more so the baby can eat it. Or maybe you like mushy vegetables. Fine. Then there's the idea that, which I was under, not me, but they were, the community that were going for breatharian, the nudist community. I didn't want that one that we're going to make a movie out of. These guys, well, let's just say, I was under the understanding, no limitation under any circumstances when I got to 18. But prior to that, I was told, as Mom said, whatever's put on your plate, be grateful for. And that's what I wanted to say. I don't care if we did a verbal blessing, but you don't have to. You can just put your hand over your food if you wish. That would be another way. And I'm saying there's people in restaurants, and that's fine. If you want to do that, are you making yourself a martyr or something? You can do it without that. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. I'm just saying there's other ways of possibly looking at it. If you just think it, that you're grateful and you make your blessing, perfect. Or you can not do any of that and just say, I am grateful. Perfect. That is all I'm saying. Be grateful for what's in front of your food. Those people that are ungrateful, well, you got things more to learn. I'm not saying to do or not to do. I'm just saying there's different ways of looking at it. After that, you have, see, Mom said whatever it is. And I learned later on what they were talking about. You have to be taught being grateful, kids. You don't come out breathing being grateful. You have to be taught being grateful. So that all the maybe more wealthy kids that always have food, it's hard for you to be really grateful for anything, especially if everything's been given to you. If you ever think about this, anything that's really been given to you, you tend to destroy more than if you saved your money and bought it yourself. It seems to work out that way. Other than that, it would be, I didn't know this until I got to the farm there, that if you cook food over 138 degrees, you kill it. I looked at him. I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't even go into no limitation with him at that point. And we'll go there. It's really great. But so there was, then after that, after the cooked foods, you can have it under or over, I don't care. But after you get away from the cooked food, you would have raw food. Raw, all the vegetables, raw nuts. There's a lot of nuts out there, aren't there? And the nuts would be the sweetmeats, if you want to look at it that way. And then after the raw, there'd be fruit. Now fruit, you can cook. If it's over 138, you kill it. But it could be raw or cooked. Under or over 138, you have pie. You have pie that's going to be over 138 degrees, okay? And it's probably going to have sugar, okay. So after you get rid of the raw stuff, this is what I'm saying. Then you work your way into being a breatharian. You just drink your water and breathe. Well, you know what? You're going to be cutting down on your food bill. That's cosmic humor. And then I see in the past centuries, there's been people that do that. right now today, there are people that do that. They're not running around, most of them saying that, but they are here now. Now, the ones I know of have just a little bit of bread. Fine, I'll give you a breatharian on that. I think it's like, we'll call it an ort. An ort is a small crust of bread. I think it might be 3 orts, 3 crusts of small, like a wafer size or something like that size. Okay, I'll give you a breatharian on that, guys. It's a push for sure. That's all you're eating. Okay, so we got all of that. Now, I don't know how I haven't talked to many breatharians, but if you're the ones I'm thinking of, I would have to say you'd have to agree with this. Write me a note if you're out there. If you disagree, please. So we got meat, cooked, whatever, raw, vegetables, nuts, and that. That would be whatever level you're on, you have a law that you live by. The law, the spirit of the law. Uncle Martin is at the level now. I am going for breatharian, by the way. I know I'll probably attain it. I don't care, but I am concerned. When I say the letter of the law, if you are on any of those food groups, you'll say, like let's meat eaters, you're pretty much eating everything anyway, so that's fine. You're blessing, being grateful, fine. Now the other ones that get into spiritual pride stuff, I'm looking at you guys because there's the law and the letter of the law. You don't hurt people's feelings, okay? You got to keep that concept. So let's say, okay, you're a vegetarian and you don't eat sugar, but you eat cooked foods. You might have organic chicken, fine. You're not quite a vegetarian, but you're getting closer to one. Let's just say, hypothetically, that's it. Mom says, no matter where you go, whatever table you sit, you eat the food and you're grateful for it. Boy, isn't that crazy? I didn't think about all that until later. You got. Let's say you're a vegetarian and you don't eat meat, but you don't eat sugar, but maybe you want to try to get your concept across to somebody and everything, and they invite you over to their house to hear more what you have to say or something like that, and they say, we got dinner for you. You say, oh, thank you, and they put something crazy in front of you, like you walk over to the stove, hey, what are you cooking? And they say, oh, we got this, and they're not maybe very wealthy or something, they're just getting by, but they really have a lot of love, and they're going to give you their food that they eat. So it would be like, I'm just saying, like pork and beans, perfect, pork and beans with bacon, and what else? Hot dogs. But they don't grill up the hot dogs; they just cut them up in little pieces, and then they cook it in with the beans and bacon. But it's cooked, I mean, it's not like, well, they're stirring it up, and you're looking. Yeah, that looks pretty tasty. And you don't want to hurt their feelings, is what I'm saying. You can't hurt their feelings if you're under the understanding of not hurting someone's feelings. I mean, it goes to the extremes, I know, but you got to do it, kids. I mean, I know names are tough, but when you get into this level, it's another story. It's your test. That's what it's going to be. So you're looking at that and you say, okay, and they really wanted you to come over because they really understand what you're talking about, but they said, Mom's got to hear this. She's going to love it. So she's coming down the stairs and says, hon, and they didn't have really anything to drink. And he says, yeah, well, we got some water. And she says, no, we got lemonade. And I'm thinking, hey, lemonade, that sounds tasty. So she gets on top of the refrigerator, and it's a box, one of those powdered stuff. And she gets it, and she puts it in a big pitcher. She goes over to the tap water, turns that on. She says, I got to let it run a little because it's a little warm. I got to cool it down. So she's putting that with the making lemonade for you. And you're saying, oh boy, I haven't had that in a long time. And then she says, wait, we need ice. I said, yeah, ice would be nice. So she goes in the refrigerator. It's one of these old refrigerators with maybe the aluminum. You know how aluminum, I don't know, but aluminum with one of those. And she takes out ice cubes with her fingers, puts them in the glasses, and then she gets the lemonade, puts it in your glasses. And you're saying, wow, yeah, thank you. Well, you don't eat sugar, you don't do that, but you're not going to hurt their feelings to the best of your ability because it's negative to hurt someone's feelings. So you sit down, you definitely bless your food, and you eat it happily with them, okay? And then afterwards, she says, I got dessert for you. Oh, really? And you don't say you're too full. You say, what do you have? And she says, I got cherry pie. Cherry pie, my favorite. I'm sorry. So she cuts up pie, big piece for you, and you eat the pie. The dinner's done. Now you go in the living room and blah, 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 whatever you have in mind that you wanted to explain to them that might help them get to the next level. What I'm saying is, it's not easy in this world to not hurt someone's feelings. It's not easy. I never said it would be easy. But if you're under the understanding that you don't hurt big nose, big ears, pigeon-toed, big head feelings, you got to do it, you know? I mean, even if you're laughing, you don't tell them you're laughing at that. You'll say, I thought of a funny cosmic humor. and they'll say, what's cosmic humor? I know you guys kids are saying, what's cosmic humor? I don't understand your cosmic. Okay, here's one. Perfect. Yeah, I just saw it the other day. It was like, my karma ran over your dogma. It's a joke because any religion has a dogma, a limitation to it. Yeah, every one of them. They don't think so, but there is. Most of them. And so that's funny to most people, and especially people that understand karma, you know? You give out, you give back. Tenfold. So, you know, it's funny, cosmically. So that would be a perfect cosmic. It's cosmic humor. I'm like, you couldn't help laugh. You got to come up with something. You're not going to hurt their feelings. And you guys that understand this, kids, that other kids don't know, when they call you big nose, fat head, big ears, pigeon-toed, fatso, skinny. I've heard that before. Well, what are you trying to tell me? They won't do it anymore. It's when you have your feelings hurt. That's what they want. They want this. That's why they're doing it to you. Don't you understand? You're not going to let it bother you anymore. You're putting it on the back shelf. Get out of here. I heard that before. What else you got? You know, something like that. Especially the kids that are be told you're too skinny. You're too skinny. What happens now? People, it's called anorexia. They look in the mirror, their skin and bones, and they're looking in their minds saying, I'm too fat. I know it's crazy, but it's just the way people look at themselves. That's the other thing. You have to love yourself. Big nose, big ears, fatso, skinny. Love yourself because it's more positive that way. We all hate we don't love ourselves enough. Now, I'm not saying that's the problem with the negative side. They just love themselves so much that they don't love anybody else. But that's okay. They just haven't learned that yet. And you guys over here that are loving everybody, but you don't love yourself, you're missing out on the whole gamut of the circle. Gosh almighty, I don't know if I'm getting through to anybody. I think I hit everything. Maybe. Yeah, I think so, probably. It's just that we get so thin-skinned, so sensitive. I mean, now it's not even, I was thinking, we got a foundation of how to fight and not to fight, but then there's now these kids running to the computers and saying falsehoods about you. You're flipping out over it, maybe texting whatever the computers. I am archaic. I don't even believe I'm doing this. When I got a friend that's a nurse and her husband, they're saying, you don't know anything about this. I said, well, I took a year of film study. Is that anything? I got 2 A's. That's it. So I'm saying, I don't know really what I'm doing mechanically and stuff, but I know I had some ideas how to help kids get through some really negative times. That's what I was thinking. And as I think high school, college might have something. Moms, dads, I don't know where they are. That was perfect. Moms, dads, if you are there or not, I'm going to give you a couple thoughts here. When you're sitting down at the table, hold off about 3 hours before you nail the kids on whatever it is. I know it's hard to find your kids. And kids, you know, you kind of stay away sometimes. You're doing negative things, but you got to eat. So you get around the table, and that's when all the hostilities seem to happen. I grew up at the time with all the sitcoms. It seemed to be everybody's getting yelled at the dinner table because they had jokes or whatever. But I think it was on a subconscious level that we ended up enforcing that when we got to sit down to eat. So I'm saying there's a couple ways of looking at it. Scientifically, it is proven when you have more harmony than discord, when you're happy rather than sad, it's much better to be happy when you eat rather than crying when you eat, or upset or whatever. Your body stops digesting your food. It's proven. So mom, dad, whoever, when you're scolding your kid, you got to talk to them. I don't know, get them 4 hours before their dinner, or at least 3 or 4 after. That way the digestive principle will go on. That was it, digestion. Perfect. Kids, I learned something probably first, second grade. We got to a house up on the hill in Flagstaff. The guy he owned a restaurant. He had his kids, so we got to be friends. Finally, come on for dinner. Dad brought always a bottle of wine or bread. He says it's polite to, when you go get invited to a house, bring a bottle of wine or bread. I'm saying, Dad, why do you have a bottle of wine and bread? You said either or. He says, it's more polite. That's what I was brought up with. We get to the house. There was 3 kids, bro and me. So somebody had a tummy ache. The tummy ache was not digesting their food. So their mom says this. She says, this is what you do, kids. And I've done it all my life. That's why I'm putting it out there for you. Whatever level you're at, age-wise. She says, well, first we did this reverse thing. And then I got pretty positive. She says, put your tongue on. I was able to. She says, okay. And then she went to the kid that had the problem with the digestion. She says, this is what you think. You got a furnace inside your tummy. The furnace, you put a bunch of fuel in. Like a coal furnace, but it's not coal. I dealt with coal and wood, if you remember. The food you put in is your fuel. You've put fuel in your body. Your tummy has a furnace, but the furnace it's got fire. You got fire in your furnace, but it's not quite, it's just a little fire. Well, what you do is what was she saying? She was just saying, go around outside your stomach, either hand, it doesn't matter, and go in a circle and think of like a broom, broom, broom. And for me, it was growing up, it was a lawnmower. Well, we had a push lawnmower. It was a whole acre and didn't have to do the back acre. It was getting tough. Dad, I need a lot. And we finally got one. Push lawnmower for an acre? Don't build up your strength. Give me a break. So we finally got the broom. So I was thinking that way. And then there's the motorboat. You got one of those, broom. But you finally get a broom. And that's what you got in your stomach now. You got a broom, and then it's like the fire is raging now. You got a furnace full of fire. Well, that food now, your tummy starts to grumble. You know what happens? Those juices are going in your stomach to where it's actually digesting your food. And that could be, well, hopefully by the end of the night, but it could be the next day. You're still having a problem. That's what you do. It'll work for you, trust me. In fact, you'll hear the grumblings, and that's what happens. People are sitting around, they hear a grumbling from a couple desks. Hey, you're grumbling. Yeah, you must be hungry. No, you're not hungry. Well, you might be hungry, thinking you're hungry, but what it comes down to is your digestive system's working. Leave it alone a while. Just wait until lunchtime before you start eating again. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a little time, because that means you're digesting. So when you get sick, kids, you get sick. Well, a positive doctor, you doctors out there, I don't know if I got any yet, but I'll tell you, you better follow the code. Do no harm, do no harm, do no harm. That is your Hippocratic oath that both of you guys should know about. And some doctors are killing people. Some people are healing people. I don't care. You don't know you're negative, but you're killing a lot of people. Hey, by the way, if somebody's telling you you're going to die, all right, that's about as negative as it gets, right? Or you got to take something out, or they love cutting, by the way. Most of them do. You make a lot of money that way. Money, right? You go to another doctor until you get the right answer, like you're going to live, all right? That's the first thought. And even if you don't find 30 doctors that say you're going to live, say, it's too limiting for me. I don't believe you, is what you say. You know what? you could get better. I'll say you will get more better than less better by thinking that way. Uncle Martin's going, yeah, I dealt with that too. I got proof on that too. But I can't go there. I'm just saying, I'm throwing things out there as a possibility just to work on. Doctors. Yeah, you're sick. So a positive doctor would be, kids, when you go to him, he's going to say, I know it sounds, when's your last bowel movement? And you're going to say, it's none of your business. I'm not telling you. He wants to know what's built up in your body. When it's called bile, poo, it builds up in your body. What happens is toxicity builds up. You get sicker and sicker and sicker rather than better and better and better. When you keep putting things in and it doesn't come out. People today are putting things in and it's not coming out. Knees, ankles, back, eat. If you detoxify, some you know, some you don't. I'm giving you something to work with. Get rid of the toxicity and you'll be better than you were when you were. I'm telling you, you will get better. That's basically hands down. Get rid of the toxicity, and that's the other thing. Too much toxins, you get sick. Not enough toxins, you get sick. It's a balance on how you're going to do it. It's called reflexology with the feet and hands. It's called iridology with the eyes. It's over 4,000 years on both. Look into it, please. Dots in your eyes show what organs have built up toxicity. Things in your hands when they get sore, feet get sore, look up on the chart what is sore. And then you'll see what organ you have to work with. It's just a little hint if you wish to look into it. I don't care. I'm not putting doctors out of business. Some doctors know about it, some doctors don't care about it. I'm saying doctors have things to learn too. I have nothing against doctors, but when I was saying physician, heal thyself, I said, Mom, what's physician, heal thyself? She says, that means you're a doctor and you get to heal yourself. Really, Mom? She says, within 3 days, you will get better if you just don't, it's not, doctors start feeding you chemicals and stuff without asking. That's it. Kids, if you go to a doctor and he starts giving you medicine before he even asks you about relieving yourself, go to another doctor, you know? I'm sorry, that's the way I feel about it. Oh boy, I think I hit a lot of things. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. I wouldn't want to do that. But at some point, you know, we got to do something here. If somebody's saying you can't do something, that's a limitation on whatever level you're saying. And I'm at no limitation. If you haven't noticed that by now, and I'll give you plenty of examples how that really works. So somebody, I know over people's heads, somebody's maybe picking this up. I don't care, you know. I am so concerned though that we do. At least take a look at it, or have an open mind, right? When I heard karma at 18, I said, but then I said, what? Tenfold here, tenfold. I was saying, Uncle Martin, before he was 18, I can't even go into how many negative things I did. They called me the second story man. I thought I was positive. I was getting caught. So all you guys over there that are really rich, and you haven't been caught, well, guess what? It's coming back to you, man. I mean, that's the law. And you don't think so, but hey, okay, you might get away with this time around, but it's going to come back sometime, you know? And I don't know. That's why I'm not judging anybody, either side. It's just that we're going to take account for everything we do at some time, you know? How much time you got? Oh, I got plenty of time. Well, okay. I want to graduate. Planet terrific, all right? I'm just giving you a few hints on maybe how you can graduate planet terrific. And I haven't even really touched upon anything, really. I'm just giving you I'm giving you milk. You want meat? Meat, give me meat. Well, okay, I'll throw some meat in there. I'll see if you can digest it. Yeah, so. I'm no baby, give me meat. Okay, okay, hold on. I know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm trying to keep it humorous. I know some of you don't see the humor. I'm trying to keep it cosmic humor. Some of you see it, some of you don't. All I'm saying is, the more we don't limit ourselves or we limit any one of us, it's going to be such a happier little world. Our Mother Earth is alive, and we have to be caretakers for Mother Earth, or not. When we're not, Mother Earth starts shaking, and she's done it in the past. She's coming up, I think, to that time where we better toe the line a little better, is Uncle Martin's idea here. Okay, I overextended myself. Gosh darn, I ran out of time. I'll try to get back as soon as I can. Until then, aloha! He said aloha. I said aloha. Be well.